Reason that white people have so much empathy for a dead racist, bigot, homophobe, you name it, right? Is the same reason that black people feel triggered when they see a slave movie or something happening in Jim Crow or someone dying in police brutality. It's epigenetics, right? The same genetic pool causes us to feel pain for people who look like us, causes us to have this soul pulling anger and sadness and anguish, right? The same thing that causes them to feel empathy for racists. It's in their DNA. We have to remember that the average white person is only one generation removed from racism. It is more than likely that that white person had two racist parents and two racist grandparents who had two racist parents as well. Racism, the hatred, the vitriol, the violence goes back centuries, right? At the very least, 200 years, right? And at the most 400. Hell, for some of them longer than that. You have to remember that this violence, this hatred for other groups of people started way back in Europe, right? It is written into their DNA. And I'm not saying this to be mean. This is very much so probably subconscious for many of them, right? They cannot help but see themselves within these people. Remember that time is not linear, right? You are your ancestors. This is probably the first time in a long time they haven't been a racist, a bigot, something of the sorts. White people who are unlearning racism are fighting subconscious pools that they probably don't even know about. They probably don't even understand the amount of time and shadow work that it requires to unlearn thousands of years worth of hate. We do not have that type of time under capitalistic structures. Not even close. Of course, white people feel empathy for Charlie Kirk. They are only one generation removed from hatred. If you're white and you're seeing this, I don't mean this with hate. I do not. I'm saying this from a place of understanding, right? Because I do understand. Do I feel sorry for you? No. Do I agree with it? No. But I do understand it, right? If you really consider yourself an anti-racist, you actually consider yourself an anti-racist, someone who stands with black people, stands with immigrants, stands with the LGBTQ, ask yourself why you feel empathy for a monster who went around inflicting hatred on others. The idea that we're all human, Charlie felt no humanity for others, does not make sense. This is why nothing is really changing in America, right? Because white people can still identify with the people who oppress us all. Even if white people also are being oppressed in a way, right? Even if the system is also conning white people, programming runs so deep, they cannot unsee themselves as a part of the system, right? That's how deep white supremacy runs, right? We are seeing it actively in real time. I just want you to know that the amount of work that you've done currently amounts to nothing. Do more work, right? I see trans people, immigrants, crying over Charlie Kirk, talking about how evil the world is. That man would have loved to see you dead and gone. And that's because a part of you sees yourself in him, all because he is white and so are you, right? That's how deep your social programming runs. You are socially programmed to see yourself in all white people. Do you think that is useful to you in the new world? The times that are coming to change. Do you think it's useful to see yourself in a racist? This system will stay the same until white people learn to unalign themselves with all white people. White supremacy cannot be the only thing that ties you to your community. If it does, that makes you just as hateful as the thing that you claim to stand against. Do you see what I'm saying? Y'all better get some culture real fucking fast, right? Or the deconstruction of white supremacy will be very hard for you. Your sense of being, your sense of identity will crumble very fast as the system falls. And the system is falling, baby. That much I can guarantee. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but oh baby, you see what's going on around the world? It's going to crash and burn hard. So, if white supremacy is the only thing that you can identify with for a sense of self, this is going to be very hard. White people, you have a lot of internal work to do. This is spiritual warfare, if I have to say so, if I have to take it there, right? Because white supremacy has corrupted your soul to a point where you can't even separate yourself from an evil man. We're all human. That man was not human. He was hate reincarnated.
The tongue is the smallest organ in the human body. Very small organ, but can cause a civil war. We've had civil wars in Rwanda, civil wars in America, Congo, South Sudan, right? Many countries have experienced civil war. And if you go and research about it, you'll find it's about a man or a figure who spoke something against someone or something else, right? And so the masses took it upon themselves to serve justice upon that which was said. I'm reminded, and I'm trying to scrutinize life as it is. I'm trying to throw away that which I believed was true and starting to pick one by one which I believe and which I have verified is truth according to my capabilities. Charles Kirk was a polarizing figure. He's a polarizing figure, and just because you're a polarizing figure does not make you an evil man. No. In fact, you can't be liked by everyone. If you're liked by everyone, you have a problem, a huge one. Yeah. So Charles Kirk is a man, or rather a Republican, a conservative, who was shot in Utah. Utah is a town in the United States of America. He goes to universities and he delivers very powerful speeches to try and spread knowledge. I believe good knowledge, or rather according to him it was good knowledge of awareness and the love for nationalism and progressivism. So that is what he does. While doing all this, he came to a point where he equated the problems of America to be caused by the black Americans. So when Charles Kirk was saying all this, many black people, it didn't sit well with them that such a man who is white, who is supposed to be privileged, is underlooking the problems they are facing. So many black people were not happy about this. And let me tell you, I'm not creating this video to laugh at someone who is dead. No. I'm telling you, this life is very unfortunate. Even as we talk right now, someone is dying somewhere. This life is very unfortunate and is very, very fragile. Tomorrow is never a guarantee. I believe black people have something to say about it. Now, I want us to listen to what the black people have to say. I shall get back by the end of the video, of course, where we shall also have a deep, critical analysis. Let's dive in.
Y'all better man up. We have had to suffer people mocking the deaths of blacks like Sandra Bland and Breonna Taylor, their mothers' tears still wet in their eyes, never even given a moment of silence. This man has our blood on his hands. Same type of rhetoric that comes from his lips is the energy that fuels 3,000 hate crimes per year committed against blacks, which far exceeds that of any other race. And yet, I'm not here to mock him. In fact, I have a Charlie Kirk response video on my phone that I won't post because of his death. Had it for weeks now in response to some of the lies he told in this video. The editing was difficult, so I left it alone for a while, and here we are. I did a voiceover to Kendrick Lamar's song, Swimming Pools, where I named the race that leads in a given crime, like DV, white, burglary, white. Proud of that video, but I won't post it. Not gonna mock him in death the way he mocks George Floyd in death. This is about to be educational, but it's still gonna piss a lot of them folk off when facts expose who's really the most criminalized group in this country. They love to say we're 13% of the population with most of the unalives. Simply untrue. Whites had 2,500 more than us. Yeah, they have a much larger population, and therein lies the deception. They have a massive group of highly privileged whites from generations of access, advantages, and trust funds that are just watering down the stats. It causes poor whites to feel a lot better about themselves than they should. So let's remove the wealthy from the equation, since they contribute almost nothing to the blue-collar crime numbers, and re-examine this stat. So, there are 48 million whites below the middle class. And what do you know? Just so happens to be 48 million blacks. Identical sample size. And we accounted for 6,405 unalive. They had 8,842 from the same number of people. Here's a percentage for you. That's 28% higher than us. Poor uneducated whites, you are the black eye on America. Take privilege out of it, and y'all are the niggas.
How can you come here and tell me there's no such thing as white privilege and no such thing as racism?
Easily. There's no such thing as white privilege or racism, so. There's racism, but it's not institutional.
Do you know what SB 1070 is?
Tell me what it is.
It's basically a law for an officer to pull me over and ask for my papers.
Okay, well, I think people should be asked for their papers regardless of the skin color.
So there we go. Here's white privilege. Who are they going to ask for their papers? Me or you?
I get asked for papers all the time when I get pulled over. Hold on a second. First of all, I get asked for my driver's license all the time when I get pulled over. In fact, every time I get pulled over, I get asked for my driver's license. Do you really think you're being pulled over just because of the color of your skin?
Dude, it's happened many times.
Hey, guess what? I get pulled over too.
You're never going to know it because you don't look like me, man.
Wait, hold on.
You're never gonna have to know my struggles.
I'm just gonna give you a piece of advice. Honestly, you complimented me and Candace Owens. You're looking at the world as a victim. And the evil white man that's trying to crush you, it's a lie. It's a lie that is designed to keep you down. It's a lie that is designed to try and disempower you. And white people get pulled over all the time to be asked for their papers. And if a non-citizen does not have their papers, they should be deported from this country if they do not have their papers. So please go ahead.
All right, before you start saying I'm playing that victim thing, I'm never gonna call myself a victim, but I'm not blind to the fact that my journey is going to be different than someone that doesn't look like me.
You're right. So you know how it's going to be different? It's going to be easier for you because affirmative action laws benefit people of color above white applicants to certain universities. In Texas, if you try to get Regeneron or monoclonal antibodies, the specific position of the Texas Health and Human Services is we only give Regeneron to Hispanic and black people and not to white people. At State Street Capital Advisors, if you want to be a financial manager, you know they're not allowed to hire white people without board permission, yet they can hire Hispanic people and black people as much as they want. Do you know that United Airlines wants to double the amount of Hispanic and black pilots and try to hire less white pilots? You're right. You and I have it different. The current regime and status quo is making it easier for you. You have privilege.
Black people, why are y'all celebrating? Like, y'all better than that. Y'all really on the internet and happy that this man got shot unalive in front of everybody. I mean everybody. All because y'all don't like his opinions. Now, I'm not riding with Charlie Kirk, right? But the nigga gone already, right? He gone. But my thing is this. Stop asking people questions and you not ready for the answer. Because if you just look back at it, he was only answering the question that y'all asked him and just gave his opinion. Y'all gotta realize that everybody ain't gonna agree. You got to agree to disagree. That's fucking life. Now, however, I went back and watched some of his clips when he was speaking on black people and the violence that come with black people. I saw that as well. But shit, look at it from this view. He got unalive from one of his own kind. Okay, that right there should prove a point. Black people ain't the only people that's violence amongst each other. What happened today to Charlie Kirk proved that. Just like I said on my backup channel, that's why a lot of this shit I don't speak up on. Because I don't want to be educated when it comes to shit like this. All this political shit, you will never see me talk about. Because I'm just not into it. At the end of the day, we all got to live our own lives. Let's just be real. Now, for the people that look like me, black people, God did his work. It's over with. Let it go. Move on.
I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but
I'm supposed to have empathy for a motherfucker that doesn't believe in it. I'm supposed to have empathy for a person that demonized my people, a person who watched a black man get his neck kneeled down for 9 minutes. He had a daughter. But do you know what that man said about that man after he was deceased? And I'm supposed to have some empathy? You're telling me that my morals are compromised because I don't have empathy for a man who doesn't view me as an equal human being to him? A man that does not have sympathy for children being mowed down in schools, a man that does not have any sympathy for the women that are losing their reproductive health care and are set to lose more of their reproductive health care. This man literally said that he would force his daughter to have her rapist child, and I'm supposed to have some empathy that this man got taken out while spewing some more hateful rhetoric. Seriously? You can be against gun violence, right? You can acknowledge that no human being deserves to have their life taken away. Nobody does. But at the same time, stop telling people who are affected by the rhetoric that these people spew and individuals, because now that a lot of people who are saying that you should have some empathy, now there's finally somebody that looks like them that has been a victim of this. I've been having to watch my people get killed on camera as long as I can remember. Stop telling us to have empathy for a person that does not have empathy for us. That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
Well, there you have it. Charlie Kirk has passed away at the age of 32. I thought he was going to make it. I really did. But now that he is gone, the only people I feel bad about is his 2 little girls. Everybody else I really don't have any empathy for, but his 2 baby girls are going to grow up without a father. And that is the only thing I care about. Now, Charlie Kirk is about to be a martyr. And if the person that did take his life is on the left side, all hell is about to break loose. So what I'm going to say, anybody that is an influencer on the left, if you got something, hold that bitch tight, okay? Watch your surroundings and keep your head on a swivel, because if you don't, we already know. That side is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and they will not think twice. And Charlie Kirk was an influencer. He was a major influencer for the right. So, that's all I got.
How the fuck is white on white crime linked to you wanting to attack HBCUs? It was a goddamn white person that took out Charlie Kirk. What the fuck does that have to do with black people? I don't understand. We getting blamed for everything. It's white on white crime. Go address the white folks in your community that's doing all the evil and effed up stuff. Why? There should not be any HBCUs on lockdown. It's your fucking people. Make it make sense. I'm trying to fit. I don't understand how the fuck this come back to us. I'm so confused. How does this come back to black folks when it was a damn white person? And in Utah of all freaking places. Miss me with the nonsense. And y'all are targeting HBCUs? We get blamed for shit that don't got nothing to do with us. You should be addressing your own fucking community, bruh. Make it make sense.
So Charlie Kirk was pronounced dead, right? Somebody just took Charlie Kirk's life. And I find it crazy how over the last few days, when speaking about that situation that took place in North Carolina, I believe, where the black man fatally stabbed the Ukrainian woman, and people have been calling for the black man's life to get taken, you spent the last few days talking disparagingly about black people, and your actual final words were gang violence or gang on gang violence when speaking about black people, right? And you were in the predominantly white town of Utah. You were in Utah, which ranks 34th in the U.S. for racial and ethnic diversity. And the person who took your life was none other than this man who resembles Larry David, gang. This is what I mean. Y'all spew this divisive rhetoric, and then it comes back to bite you in the ass. You feel me? It's nasty, bro. Condolences to his family. You feel me? Again, I don't call for anything to happen to anybody, regardless of how I feel about their political views. But when you put certain energy out, I believe in karma. Certain energy comes back. You feel me? Do y'all not get that? Do y'all not understand? I know a lot of y'all got a lot of bravado behind these screens, behind y'all computers and y'all phones. And y'all, you feel me? But you had everything to say about black people and gang violence and how you would look at a black person differently than you would look at a white person, right? You had all this to say about black people. And in the white town or city of Utah, an old white man was the one. Like, come on. Come on. It's crazy, man. I'm out of here.
Charlie Kirk's death is trending, but let's talk about why his words cut so deep while he was alive. He routinely expressed racist views, calling black pilots unqualified, blaming a black fire chief for flooding deaths that happened hours away from him in Texas, denouncing the Civil Rights Act, and trying to discredit Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as awful. This isn't random ignorance. This is what happens when people never learn black history as American history. They recycle old racist talking points because they don't know the truth. And when the truth is erased, the lies feel comfortable. And I really wish that Charlie Kirk in his young life, this guy was young. He was born in 1993. I wish he would have read Black AF History by Michael Harriot, because this is the unwhitewashed story of America, the unwhitewashed history that everybody should know. This is for everybody. Do not stay comfortable in the lies. You have to pick up a book and learn the truth, y'all. So if y'all see the orange card down below, that means that this book is still in stock, and it has been selling like hotcakes, y'all. So listen, if you want to know the truth.
And to my people, to my black people, this is not our fight. Stay out of it. It's not our fight. They said violence had no place in politics. They weren't saying that during the civil rights, back when they was assassinating us then. It didn't apply then. Let it fly now. It's not our fight. Let the white people handle it.
Violence is never the answer. Violence is never the answer. Well, violence was the answer today, wasn't it? Oh, it was the answer. It was A, B, C, D, E, and F. It was all of the above today. I mean, the way, let me say this. Remember that movie Us, the Jordan Peele movie Us? You guys really didn't get the point of that movie, did you? You guys really didn't understand what it was about. Because if you remember in that movie, the people that got killed in that movie all claimed that they were good people. That was a good family. Those friends of the family were quote unquote good people. Everybody up top was good, and everybody on the bottom was evil and bad. And the movie was talking about how we live in two different worlds at the same time. Simultaneously, that there can be people that live in a different world than you, and you don't even know it because you don't even see it. He died because he expressed his political views. He died because he expressed his political views. I could die while walking around black in America tomorrow, yesterday, and today. I've been a part of a school shooting, all right? UCSB, look that up. I was on campus when that happened. Same campus, I had cops surround me while I was trying to get a 6-pack of beer. I've also been pulled over when I was giving an interview to CNN during the middle of the pandemic. Last year, I was followed while I wanted to take a walk around the block in my own neighborhood. Sorry if I don't really have empathy towards the fear that you stoke every single day. What was this man's last words? His last thought? What about gang violence? And if you want me to explain it to you, I will. What About Gang Violence was a dog whistle for black people. He was answering a question and giving a whataboutism to condone having guns and guns deaths because of quote-unquote gang violence, aka violent, scary black people, in his little white supremacist rally in Utah. That's the last thing he said. That was the last thought. That was the last impact that man put on this earth, was once again, black people are scary and they deserve to die. We live in two different worlds. This isn't a game. See, to you guys, it's a game. See, to you guys, it's what about the next election? And what about the midterms? And what about the polls? And, you know, and left and right, and, you know, owning the libs and owning the right and own this. Man, I'm trying to own my life. That's what some of us are fighting for. And not just black people either. Some brown people are just trying to live. Some people in Gaza are just trying to live. You guys are the ones playing the stupid game. This was never a game to us. This was just our trying to exist. When we said I can't breathe, we literally meant we can't breathe. When we said Black Lives Matter, we literally said Black Lives Matter. You guys turned it into a slogan. You guys turned it into a little back and forth lame debate. You guys turned it into a game. This was never a game to us. And sorry if you got played today. Are you surprised? Because I'm not. Not surprised at all. So, you know what? Black America, take your notes, baby. Take your notes today. Take your notes, because the people that are trying to lecture you today are the people that won't fight for you tomorrow. These are the people that, quote unquote, say you have your back. Oh, we stand with you, and they'll throw the fist signs up and wear dashikis and stuff like that. But when push comes to shove, they're the ones that are going to stab you in the back. And the people that understand that and people that understand they have every right to not feel a darn thing about a white supremacist who said bigoted stuff to the very second he died, meaning his eventual end on the gun rights that he went ahead and for his whole career tried to get rid of, tried to devalue, and tried to uphold his gun rights, and end up getting buying by those same gun rights. The people that aren't lecturing you, those are your riders. Those are the people that we can ride with. And that includes you, Pod Save America, Dean, Harry. Guess it wasn't a game today. And one more thing. You know, Charlie Kirk also said a lot about rap music and hip hop music. Another, dog whistle code word. I mean, should have been listening to Wu-Tang. That's all I got to say.
I'm sorry to say, but we just received word that Charlie Kirk has died. I think I'm still coming to grips.
Lock in, fuck niggas. We need to talk about this. The first thing I want to say is that I do condemn the events that happened to Charlie Kirk, and I feel terrible for his family. He just recently had a baby. Now, before people say some things that are crazy and doesn't make any sense, I do want to say that I blame Utah for this. If we actually look at Utah's gun laws, it is terrible. In Utah, you don't need permits to carry a weapon. They have loose background checks. There is no mandate to ban weapons on college campus. Not to mention the thousands of signatures that was signed to not allow Charlie Kirk to have his event in Utah. And despite not listening to that, despite not having strict gun laws, y'all allow him to have an event outside a public event where he was open for this to happen. You mean to tell me there was no safety precautions for this event? This is a state that gets an 11 out of 100 for gun law strength. They are also above average when it comes to gun violence. And despite knowing all of this, we're still gonna sit here and say that we don't have a gun issue?
Now, I want to make this abundantly clear so that there's no room for confusion. It is perfectly fine not to feel sad for or empathize with somebody who would even spit on you if you were on fire. Now, choosing not to mourn, cry, or feel bad for somebody does not automatically mean that you're celebrating their death. Like, there is a huge difference between celebrating and indifference. Now, I'm not about to have a party, buy balloons, and set off fireworks because Charlie Kirk got shot, because that's just not who I am. But at the same time, I'm not going to feel bad about it, and that's valid. And refusing to extend sympathy to somebody who spends his entire life tearing down the dignity of others is not cruelty, it's honesty. And I don't feel like anybody who has that opinion should feel attacked or shamed. Now, it is possible to acknowledge a death without pretending that that person suddenly becomes worthy of the compassion they refuse to give others. And you know, with me being a Black woman in America, he said that the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. And he was also one of the loudest voices that spoke out against reproductive rights. So why would I pretend to mourn somebody who actively sought out to take away my dignity, my humanity, and my rights? So no, I'm not celebrating his death, and I don't think anybody else should, but at the same time, I don't think anybody else should feel forced to feel sad about it either.
Well, Charlie Kirk was just shot in the neck, and a lot of y'all are saying you don't condone violence. This is the same person that is spewing and upholding violent rhetoric against us. Maybe you're not seeing what's going on in Nepal right now, or what just happened to Jakarta, because no one has ever gotten their liberation through peaceful means. Violence has always been the way to liberation, and you don't condone violence against a racist white supremacist that's condoning violence against us? So it's okay for him to do it, but not us. Are you really feeling mercy for Charlie Kirk, the same person that cheered on this type of violence against Palestinians and also said a couple deaths here and there as long as we can have the Second Amendment are okay? Additionally, for anyone being mad about political violence against one person, while there's millions of indigenous people being unalived under the guise of democracy, this type of pacifism is what allows for it to continue. Given we've been so far removed and oppressed that we don't know what real revolution and liberation looks like, so when we see it, we actually stand up for the colonizer. Oh, and by the way, Netanyahu just came out and said that he's praying for Charlie Kirk. So pick a side. You either stand with the oppressors or you stand with the oppressed. You don't get to do both.
Boy, y'all got the nerve to really be sitting here wanting somebody to feel bad for Charlie Kirk. I say free Palestine. Y'all want to tell me to save that for tomorrow? Like it ain't hundreds of people dying last week, yesterday, today, and going to die tomorrow. So basically you putting Charlie Kirk's life over all of them people. Man, fuck y'all. For real, no, hell no. His last words, he blaming gang violence for shit and got shot by a white man. He had no condolences for all the people dying from innocent gun violence. He don't care about what happens in school shootings. He don't care about what happened in Palestine. He never gave a fuck. Watch it out, man. Nah, all that little fake virtue signaling, be the bigger person shit is why we're here today. All them gotta go.
Charlie Kirk died in America for expressing his freedom of speech. What the fuck is going on? After seeing that video, it wasn't much hope, but damn! Is this what we're doing in 2025? Just killing people? That girl just got killed on that subway, stabbed in the neck. What's wrong with y'all niggas killing niggas in the neck? I'm dead ass sitting here about to tear the fuck up, bro. I got a daughter. Imagine if wasn't his family at the rally? They saw his parent, you gotta excuse me, gang. They saw their parent die. I wanted to watch Charlie Kirk when he came here to A&M, and I simply just didn't have the time. That man by himself started so much of a movement. He's inspired so many people, myself included, to speak about politics. And he got killed for it. You can't tell me there's any other reason. It's not like people that agreed with him killed him. People are talking about gun rights and gun laws. The gun didn't kill Charlie. The person killed Charlie. Take that person and throw him under the damn jail. To Charlie's family, I'm still sending multiple prayers. I am so sorry something so tragic happened to y'all. Seeing that video genuinely is upsetting my stomach. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Nah, don't forget now. Charlie went and told y'all. This is an unfortunate sacrifice. Charlie Kirk went and told you that it was an unfortunate sacrifice that would need to be made to protect the Second Amendment. Things like this would have to happen. A citizen getting popped in broad daylight would have to happen. As unfortunate as it is, it was an unfortunate sacrifice that must be made to uphold the Second Amendment. Charlie Kirk fought for that. He worked hard for this. He worked real hard. He advocated for a fascistic regime preached nonsensical race junk science that has been debunked for over 100 years. He hated the LGBTQIA community. An active TERF who didn't want women to have body autonomy and reproductive rights. He was a known Islamophobe, a white Christian nationalist, a man who he himself went on record on his little TV show and said he hated empathy. He thought it caused a lot of problems. Mr. Kirk worked real hard for this, and he knocked on hate's door all of his professional life. And the funny thing is, if you knock on hate's door long enough, hate will finally answer. And it answered him.
So guys, after clearly watching this video, here's my deep critical analysis, right? So there was a woman who was spoken about Charlie Kirk, saying that black people were better in the 1940s, right? And the 1940s is, yeah, it's quite a long time, you know, 5 years to the end of the Second World War, right? So this one, Kirk said, while debating a college student, where, I'm quoting, they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes, right? So this is a man with whom spoke that black people were in some way a problem to America, as I told you earlier. And these are words not from me, right? These are not words from me. I don't want to crucify a man who is down. You see, when a man is down, you don't kick him. When a man is going through difficulties, don't throw insults at them, right? And even if you want to fight them when they are 12 strong, when they are very strong, right? When they are eaten, they are fit. Don't argue with a man who is a mute. Even if you win the argument, you've really not won an argument, right? So he said that 4,000 black men, women, and children were killed in violent lynch mobs. So whoever is saying this is a respondent to what Charlie Kirk said about the 1940s and less crimes being committed by black people. So he's asking about the 4,000 black men who were lynched by the white people, right? So this is a man who is painting white the image. He's painting white the image of white people, not pun intended. Painting for it to look well. But if you scrap off that paint, you get a very, very dark and dirty image on the other side, right? And that's Charlie Kirk for us. That is a man with whom we knew as Charlie Kirk, right? The only problem I have about this specific brother is his take on black people. Just that. The idea of denying white supremacy is also a big problem. You can't deny racism ever existed. I believe he was denying this because he has not experienced it. He has not seen racism. He has not experienced it, not as a black person would, right? And he was actually a very young man, 31 years of age. You are still very young. Right? 31 years is very, very young. You've still not lived to the point of acquiring enough wisdom to know what to get out of your mouth and what not to get out of your mouth, right? It reminds me of King Solomon. When he was young, he wrote the book of songs, Song of Songs, where he speaks a lot of seductive languages. He gets to a point where he writes the books of Proverbs. I believe Proverbs maybe at the age of 40s. And then now when he gets to his dying age, he writes a very regretful book with a regretful tone. They call the book of Ecclesiastes. He says that everything, says the teacher, everything is vanity. It's like chasing after the wind. Everything we do, everything we say, it's all vanity, right? What really counts is how. What really counts is people won't remember you for what you did. People will remember you for how your words impacted them. They won't remember you for the money you accrued. They remember you for how your words made them become better or worse. Right? And where I am right now, I'm praying that he makes it right with the Most High God. Because the judgment for me, myself, and some of us who believe about the judgment day, it's really not a good thing, guys. It's really not a good thing. A lot of people die. A lot of people died tragic deaths. In Africa, people died. Even the same day Charlie Kirk died. But Charlie Kirk was a controversial public figure. And that's why I think he deserves to be mentioned as well. His words were to push progressiveness in America. His words were pushing nationalism in America. But he forgot one thing. Black people are a part of the United States of America. We have people called the FBA, Foundational Black Americans. If it were not for the Black Americans, America wouldn't be there. So the black people have played a key role in the establishment of the American empire. And no. There's a point where he said black people might be lazy. No, I have paraphrased it. He said something that we are always blaming whites on our problems. It's not that way. It's not that way. This is a man who left family. I sympathize with his family. My deep condolences with his family. Right? He spoke words that I believe were out of experience, out of not having experience. Because we don't have equal opportunity for black people in the US. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. I have read, I have listened, I have watched. It's not equal opportunity for black people. Black people might be having their problems, yes, but not all people have equal opportunity in the US. The white people always have a head start. White privilege does exist, right? It does exist. So when Charlie Kirk tried to silence the grievances of the black people, here is where we had the problem. Here's where we have the problem. The rest, we are okay. Me, I'm okay with everything he said, except for denying discriminatory activities that have always been done against black people. Yeah. Black people will always and have always been part of America. Black people are not immigrants. Black Americans are not immigrants. They are America itself. If they are immigrants, then all white people are immigrants. Then everyone is an immigrant, except for one person, the Native Americans. The Native Americans are the original people who should stay there. But they themselves, forgotten, land was stolen, beaten, thrashed, mistreated. Same as black people. So you cannot deny someone else's suffering. And I believe the reason why we have this so much celebration is because of the words he spoke. He spoke not so good words at a very, very critical time. These times of Trump are very critical. Yes. I don't believe laughing at someone who is dead is a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But we shall be judged by our actions. Yes. This is EFK Original Documentaries. You like what I do, subscribe. I'll surely appreciate. Support me on Patreon. It helps me bring more and good content to you. Yeah. Subscribe and remember, let us not judge for us not to be judged. But we have to speak for the injustices happening against black people. And I'm one of them.